tuition or financial support to 1,200 apprentices. So that means that 1,200 apprentices will be receiving some form of supportive service or tuition reimbursement through the SAE 2020 grant. We also wanted to provide that same support, tuition reimbursement, to 750 different pre-apprentices as part of the SAE 2020 grant. We're working on the creation of an employer portal, and that is when an employer is registered through the Department of Labor with a program, they will be given access to an online portal where they can go in and access different resources, documents, videos, all kinds of different things specific to their program to make sure that they can use that program to the best of their ability. Help them in any way possible so that they have an apprentice in that program, the program is up and running and it's ready to go and it's successful. We'll also be working towards a youth and eventually adult apprenticeship app. So that's something that they can go into the App Store and download, and it will help them to track job-related education and on-the-job training. So all kinds of different exciting things that are required components of a registered apprenticeship program. It'll give them that avenue to track without having to do it on paper or in any other way. They can simply use their phone, which we all know everybody has one now, to kind of help them meet the goals of their program. We're also going to be doing regional mentor training sessions. So a very important component of a registered apprenticeship program is having that mentor that walks that apprentice through the different deliverables of that apprenticeship program, the work processes, making sure they understand what they need to be doing and exactly how to do it. And we've found that it's very important not only to train the apprentice, but also to train the mentor, because the mentor is the one that leads them through that whole program. So making sure that that mentor is up to speed on, how to teach, how to train, best practices, and what's been successful is something that we feel is really important, and a really important part of that program, not only to the apprentice, but also to the employer, to making sure that the apprentice is learning what they need to learn for the employer. We're also going to be doing a lot of different marketing and outreach activities. So that could be signing days, that could be promoting apprenticeship programs on billboards or in different avenues, social media, to make sure that people, young and old, know about apprenticeship programs and the opportunities that they provide. We'll be doing some internal database system upgrades and enhancements to make sure that the data that we have to collect on each individual and for the deliverables is reported to the Department of Labor properly and effectively. And then for the reason you're all here, the Trade and Industry Association outreach event. So that's one of the things that we're really excited about. That's something that we believe will be a really awesome partnership with trade and industry associations around the state. And Nicole can talk a little bit more about that. And then the last deliverable we have is a 5-year state plan. So even though this grant is only 3 years, part of the grant is to take the temperature of the state, see what's going on in the state, see how the programs are being developed, if they're being developed in specific industries and occupations, what's growing, what's declining, what are the needs? What are the needs of employers? What are the different programs that the technical college provides, and just the general direction. And we're going to do that with all kinds of different stakeholders. We're going to collaborate on that. That's not going to be something we do in a bubble. So we want the input of everybody that participates in this grant, either through the Trade and Industry Association, through the creation of an employer portal, through the receipt of funds. But that's something that we're going to collaborate on and develop together to make sure that we are heading in the right direction at Apprenticeship Carolina to meet the needs of employers and make sure that apprenticeship programs is a viable workforce development strategy and something that South Carolina is pleased to promote across the state. So those are some of the different deliverables of the grant. We're really excited about all the exciting improvements that will be coming to South Carolina because of this grant. It's a huge grant and one that we believe will provide, supportive services and financial assistance to a number of different individuals around the state. So the partnership, Nicole, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Chip. So the reason why we have gathered all of you here today, as Chip briefly mentioned earlier, a portion of the SAE 2020 grant funding is being made available to South Carolina's statewide membership-based industry associations and organizations in order to establish partnerships. And the reason why we are interested in establishing these partnerships, number one, to market registered apprenticeship programs as a viable workforce development strategy. Number two, recruit new employers to participate as sponsors of a registered apprenticeship program. And number three, expand registered apprenticeship program offerings to new and non-traditional industries and occupations while continuing to support and expand on programs offered in traditional industries and occupations. That is a mouthful. So what we mean by that, looking at traditional industries or existing occupations that already have registered apprenticeship program outlines, making sure that those outlines and those occupations match up with what the industry is currently seeing as the standard, making sure that the way that outline is written is still a robust and foundational training outline that will produce a fully qualified employee at the end of the apprenticeship program, making sure that that all still matches up. And if it doesn't, editing it to make it respond to those needs that are, current in the industry now. And then reaching out to new industries, developing new occupations in response to the, high demand job areas, high demand industries, so that we are ensuring that we are offering apprenticeship as a workforce strategy for not just all South Carolina employers, but occupations as well. Anything that we can make apprenticeable, that's what we're trying to do, because we want this to speak to everyone in all industries, so that these industries that are moving into South Carolina or growing here stay here and are able to flourish here because we have resources available to help them. Next slide, please. So what does this partnership look like? The specific deliverables, the specifics of these deliverables will vary depending on the amount that the industry association chooses to apply for. But you'll see the outline here on the right. It's about the same for everyone. And again, the specifics of each of those will depend on the amount of money. But market and promote registered apprenticeship programs to members within the organization. That's why this is specifically for membership-based associations. Assist Apprenticeship Carolina in recruiting employers who are ready to pursue registered apprenticeship. Review templates of standards for existing industry occupations to ensure accuracy and relevance. That's what I just mentioned. And then, of course, develop templates of standards for new occupations. These next two bullets are specific, again, to industry associations and organizations, providing Apprenticeship Carolina speaking opportunities at regional or statewide events and conferences, and then providing varying levels of access to association or organization's annual conference or meeting. So what does this look like? This could be complimentary registration. Again, this will vary depending on amount of money awarded, but complimentary registration to your annual meeting, in a complimentary exhibit booth. It could be a sponsored table, a speaking event, a moderating opportunity, anything that will give us visibility at your conference or your membership meeting, visibility, ability to promote Apprenticeship Carolina and registered apprenticeship. And again, these vary depending on amount of funding, but that's kind of what this breaks down to is access points. So again, like I said, exhibit tables, complimentary registration, speaking opportunities. And if your organization does not have an annual conference or some sort of huge annual meeting, there are other opportunities that we have built into the outline, specifics that we can get into at that point, that we can discuss with you as to how to work around that piece, things that we see as replacing those opportunities. The next slide, please. So how can you apply? Interested associations and organizations can submit a bid for up to $25,000 in funds from the SAE 2020 grant. The method and timing of payment is currently being finalized by state procurement. We are waiting for this. We have submitted on our part and we're just waiting to hear back. If you will be so kind, if you are interested, if your association is interested if you know right now that you want to apply, please drop your contact information in the chat box for us, and we will keep note of who has submitted contact information. And then once we receive word from procurement that this is, we have an open application, we will be the first to let you know of this application. And of course, you know, we'll be speaking about this. This is not the only information session, but we wanted to make y'all aware of it, y'all, South Carolina, you guys aware of it so that you could, you know, bring this to your teams. If you're not sure today, bring this to your team, talk to them about it, make sure that they're aware of what this might entail, and be ready to apply when that application does become open. Next slide. And then, of course, this is the industry point of contact team, me and Chip Villa. You'll see our contact information here. Please feel free to write it down. It will also be made available to you when we email out to let you know that the application is open. But please don't hesitate to contact either of us in the meantime if we can help you answer any questions, or if you're figuring out if this is the right choice for your association or organization, we are here to help. And then, of course, we want to open the floor to any questions for anyone who's on the call today. Feel free to submit through, I believe, Chip, the boxes on the bottom. Feel free to submit any questions through the box, and we would be happy to answer. We'll give you a minute to do that. We had a question come in from Laura Green, and yes, this information session video will be available. We are recording it.
We'll send out the link to everybody after this meeting. If you'll put your information in the chat, if you want the video, we can send it out that way. Or we'll just send it out to everybody that registered as well. Laura, so yeah, if you want to reach out to me directly, we can figure out a way to get you involved to help us meet our goals. I appreciate it. I will go back to the slide with my contact information, and that way you can see it. And if you just send me an email, we'll get connected. So give me 1 second. I'll put this in here. Can you guys see my screen with the contact information? I can't. Nicole, can you see my screen here?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, good. All right, cool. All right. Well, I don't think we have any questions. Well, let me check the chat.
Yeah, I haven't seen any questions submitted through this. Let's see. Any other questions from anyone on the line today?
And you guys don't have to, send them to us now. You can send them to us in an email and we'll answer them that way, or give us a call. We're happy to answer any questions you have, and we will notify all of you when this is posted publicly, so that you can submit a bid. So any questions you have between now and then, just let us know. All right. Well, I appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to be here for this. Like I said, we're really excited about this opportunity, and we look forward to connecting with all of you. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving and stay safe.
Thank you, everyone.
Is this still recording, Nicole?
I'm going to stop it.